Good morning, VIPKid teachers. So I'm back home now. I have been in Disneyland in Anaheim, and I live in Tennessee, so I'm finally back. But I am reading along chapter to chapter. I brought it along with me. I was reading it in the hotel, and I'm telling you, it changes things. You pray about it, ask for discernment, ask for understanding, pray about it, live it, and ask for stuff to stick out to you. And it's been working. I even went through airport security and when I was in where were we at Denver, Colorado, and we they pulled me aside and they said, "Ma'am, is it okay if we check your bag? We need to do extra screening." And there was one thing on the screen that was in a tiny little purplish box. I looked on there and I started laughing. It was this. And I said, "That's my Bible." And she had to take out, because I packed, it was so cold. She had to take out all of the clothes, my stinky, sandy clothes, took them all out. And then underneath, of course, was my Bible. And she goes, "Yep." I'm like, "Yep." And it cracked me up. Um, and then my dad and I went to go eat some breakfast. And as we've been walking around and going through airports, I've been praying. I'm like, "Please, put people in my way that you would have me talk to." And then even when people are in my way, I'm like, "Please give me the words to say to them and what you would have what you would have done through this." And it's been happening with waitresses, with people I meet, people from Disney, people everywhere. But there was this one guy I met, and maybe he's watching, I don't know. But I was just listening this morning to Travis Green's Intentional, and it's so true. God is intentional with where he places people and how conversations get going. Like, I could have just not said anything, and he could have just not said anything. Conversation didn't even have to happen, but it ended up happening, and we ended up talking about God. But this is what stuck out to me from 2 Samuel chapter 22. And I'm just going to read one verse today. Chapter 22, verse 31. This God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord proves true. He is a shield for all those who take refuge in him. And this is the English Standard Version, but you can read in whatever version you have. You can read many versions. I read this version, and I have another version. I think it's the NIV. But it's true. I've been confused before with, I like to explain it as like a sleepwalking Christian. And I was confused about what some people would say. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true, but I didn't have any words or anything to back it up. I just knew deep down, I'm like, I don't know about that. And now that I'm reading, I can, I'm asking for discernment. I'm like, that's not true. That's not true because of this. No, no, no. And then when stuff is true, I'm like, yep, that's why. Yep, that was God. That was God moving. So even then in that airport, I was like, this is God moving. And I don't have to be confused, and I feel a peace about things. And when it lines up with the scripture, like the Travis Green Intentional, when it lines up with the scripture, it's like those are words from God. That hits me. So it's just, I encourage you to get in the Bible daily. I'm a busy mom of 3 toddlers. I have 2 twins that are only 3 years old, about to be 4, and then I have a 2-year-old. I don't have a lot of time, but prioritizing that time, before I even begin class, it's almost 4 a.m. I'm about to teach. I have to go. But just reading a chapter a day and praying before it and praying for discernment, it gives me such peace. And he's been showing me through the Southwest Airlines magazines, like through people that I'm sitting to. A lot of musicians have been coming in my life, and radio people, and just all this. It's just all been lining up. So happy reading. And if you're watching this, I hope that you get in the Bible daily so you don't have to take people's word for stuff. You can know for yourself, because that's what I needed. I needed to know, not take a pastor's word for it, not take, someone who says that they're this, they're a prophet, or they're a pastor, or they're this or that Christian. I want to know for myself. Happy teaching.